Leclerc on pole as Lando Norris's championship dreams could be in tatters. Welcome back to Fog Racing. We are here for your F1 2024 Baku Azerbaijan Grand Prix qualifying recap, review, call it whatever you want. Lando Norris crying session because I think today could be the day that his championship hopes just absolutely hit a steam rolling brick wall. Because I tell you what, 17th, Max starting 6th. The whole gimmick is in these last 8 races, he needs to outscore him on average by 8 points. I think it's all over.
I wouldn't say it's all over, but it's going to be a lot more difficult after today.
Absolutely. Is any fault going on Lando Norris's shoulders for what happened in qualifying? You know what, man? I rate Norris, I do, but I just don't think he's different gravy quality. I don't. I look at that McLaren this season, and I just think there's a few drivers on that grid that if they were in it, they would have the gap massively closed down, or they'd even be ahead.
Yeah, because you look at Piastri, still pretty much a rookie in F1, only the second season.
Yep.
And he's, he's done a really good job as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think that McLaren car is really good.
No, it's really good.
Unfortunately, I don't think Norris is getting... Well, I mean, he's just not won enough races, has he?
No, he's not. He's only won 2 races out of 16. I think that's really poor. In terms of what happened, Ocon hit the wall, he got a puncture, and Norris had to slow down. Now, there is rumours or replays showing that he went wide, but he's saying he would have went through regardless. It was actually the yellow flag. And you know what? I'll stick up for him. I think he is a bit unlucky because Max caught Ocon where they weren't showing a yellow flag. And that's the difference. Max could have put it and Norris could have been through. And the difference that would have for the championship, you're saying, game on. I'm not, I know we've hyped up at the beginning here saying it's over, but...
Well, you did, I didn't.
When you looked at Q1, you saw Norris go out, you're thinking, right, if Max delivers here, it could seriously be over. I think the saving grace for Norris is the fact that I just don't see Max getting much higher than like 4th in the race. I think the top 3's pretty much cement it. Would you agree with that? I think Ferrari and McLaren are just a step ahead of Mercedes and Red Bull right now.
I think Max is looking... I mean, I wouldn't say 4th at best, but I would be a little bit surprised if he got on the podium. But this is a track where you can overtake. Like, there's no reason why Norris... I wouldn't rule out Norris finishing ahead of Max.
No, I see where you're coming from.
All it takes is Max could lose a couple of places from the beginning. Norris could gain a couple of places in the beginning. And then before you know it, I mean, there's really not that much between them. Like I said, you can't overtake here. We've seen in the Dutch Grand Prix when Norris, once he got in front of Max, he pulled the gap to 22 seconds. I'm not convinced that Norris can't have a good rate. I think there's a case Norris will finish higher than Max.
I think there is a case for that, but we'll have to wait and see how it'll play out. Obviously, tomorrow you're expecting. I don't really...
You thought it was over, like, so obviously you don't.
I know, but I think he's just running out of races. Do you not think so?
He's so far. I think the amount of points he's behind, he needs to be winning races really.
Like, even if he beats Max tomorrow, it's probably going to be like outscoring him by 2 points. What Norris needs to do is be outscoring him by like 15. At the end of the day, it's not going to be that.
Yeah, it's like if you finish 3 places ahead of Max, but you're winning and he's in 4th, then that's a hell of a lot better than you finishing in like 7th and him in 10th.
Yeah. If Leclerc wins tomorrow, which I think he will, and Max finishes whereabouts he started and Norris barely gets into the points or whatever, Leclerc is looking like a more viable option. Just due to the fact like Leclerc is great in quality, man. I think he is the best qualifier on the grid. But anyway, enough talking about the top teams. Let's give some credit where credit is due. Ollie Bearman, out-qualified. Nico Hulkenberg, P11. And then you've got Franco Colapinto, out-qualifying Albon, which means he's actually 1-1 against Albon. And when you compare it to Logan Sargent, they absolutely made the right decision there.
No, absolutely. And you know what, though? I mean, we've said that Albon's done a good job, and I think he has, but you wouldn't really know how good that Williams has been.
Yeah.
Because Albon's only been up, during his time at Williams, he's been up against Sargent. And I think, obviously now, we know what Russell's doing, but at the same time, like, Russell was up against Latifi for the most part. And, obviously, yeah, the Williams has improved since the Russell days. But I always think with those kind of, like, drivers that are just, like, lucky to be on the grid, you don't really know how good a job Albon's done. I think we would all admit that we think Albon has rejuvenated his career while he's went to Williams, but maybe that Williams car has been a little bit better. Maybe Albon's performances haven't been as good as we originally thought.
Yeah.
Or maybe Franco Colapinto is, maybe he's the top gravy.
He's made it look easy. Now, and Albon did get hampered by the fact that Williams put like this cooling unit that remained left on his car for whatever reason.
But you do look at Williams, right, and see, there's no doubt about it. See, for like the past 5 seasons or whatever, like they've had like one dud driver.
No, they have.
Whether
it's Latifi or a Dun Kubica, it's something.
Seeing you at the bottom of the grid, like I don't think you can afford that.
No, you can't. You need up and comers that are good.
What I will say is, I think Sainz and Albon will be a decent pair next season.
Yeah, too good of a pairing to be at Williams. I mean, if they're 9th and 10th around there next season, I think Sainz would probably take that. Of course he would. I mean, he'd have to take it. It's better than being 19th and 20th, that's for sure.
Alonso 8th, not far behind Lewis. Thought it was a decent qualify, Alonso.
It was a very decent qualifying from Alonso. Hamilton, he's just not good in quality anymore. It is what it is. I can see tomorrow Lewis Hamilton will have a good race. I'm convinced it. Just over one lap, he's lost it. It's for all there to see.
I think the RB's been on the decline as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the Haas end up beating them in constructors.
Yeah,
I think they trail by about 7 points, but I just think that the Haas cars look more likely to score, especially with Hulkenberg. But Behrman did look good this weekend, and who's to say he won't get into the points?
Yeah, so Gasly got his time removed, or he might have had a penalty. I don't know, but Lando Norris is up one, so. Norris has got to overtake Ricardo, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Shinoda, Behrman, Albon, Colapinto and Alonso. I mean, what is the best? What do you do for Norris? Do you go long or do you go short and undercut them all?
I'd probably go short, to be honest. I'd probably go in the softs, try and make as many passes as you can, and then, pit early and get free track.
Yeah, I think what you've got to think, guys, with Norris is, like, worst case tomorrow, I mean, you could crash out, I get that. But it should be 8th.
Yeah, but I think you're going to be probably getting a safety car.
Yeah.
At some point, or a fort show.
No, absolutely. It just depends how quickly he clears.
And on that, and if you're banking on a safety car, then it probably is better if he goes long.
Yeah.
Depends if you can overtake or not. You should be able to overtake. But again, just if the McLaren's that fast, that it might just be better him doing a short run.
No, it might be.
And then making up that extra time in free air. And then it's easier to overtake a little bit later once the car starts spreading out. So it can be harder in the early parts when everyone's like getting the DRS of everybody. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I still think Norris will easily get into the points. How high can he go? I think Norris will get into top 6. That's my prediction.
Bold prediction there. Sergio Perez obviously qualified for Verstappen. He won't finish in front of Verstappen. I don't think...
He might on merit, but I mean, he'll be letting him through. Because I just don't think Red Bull will make the same mistake.
It's funny though, because Verstappen's like, why is Piastri going to be helping Lando? He kind of said that in the press. Well, I fucking guarantee you that Perez is going to be helping Max.
Well, let's be honest. Like, I mean, you think that Piastri might be in a position to help Norris more than Perez will be in a position to help Verstappen?
Well, yeah, that's probably the only chance Perez is going to get a chance at letting... see tomorrow, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Perez is behind Verstappen after the end of... No, Singapore, yeah, obviously, but it's what it is, guys. That is it for qualifying. Who do you think will win tomorrow?
It's going to be Leclerc, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be Leclerc. I hope it is Leclerc, because if Leclerc keeps winning, potentially a three-way fight. But it's a shame. I'll tell you what, though, next season, who's going to win the title if it's this competitive?
It'll depend on the car.
I'd like to see Leclerc win a title. But then you forget, he's going up against Hamilton, but again, I think he'll beat Hamilton.
I think he'll beat Hamilton, no bother.
But I just think what this season's proved is like, yeah, Red Bull were dominant at the start, but Max has done really well where Clark's underperformed. Mercedes, next year...
Yeah, see, looking back at it, it's a good job that Max did get all those wins early on.
Well, yeah, it's a good job for him, but in terms of the season, how great would it have been?
No, I know, but if he didn't capitalise at the beginning when he had the best car, then
yeah, and that's what Landos should have done when he's had the best car. He should have capitalised and won, but
he hasn't.
He hasn't, guys. Anyway, that is it. Qualified review. Till then, peace.